Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. So it has already been a week since Comic-Con, which is pretty insane. Like, time flies by way too fast nowadays. Anyway, so even though it has been a week since San Diego Comic-Con, we are still going through all the reveals that we got through either the panels for the various DC TV shows and stuff like that, or just through interviews that were done over that weekend. And that is the case with this video as we go over some pretty interesting information that was revealed by the people behind the show. So the person who gave us this information for the video was in fact the executive producer of The Flash, or, you know, the showrunner, that being Todd Helbing. And what he revealed is that there would be multiple deaths this season, and if I remember correctly, the exact wording was that there would be many deaths. Obviously, the use of the word many can mean anything. It could mean 145 deaths, or it could mean 7 deaths, or it could mean like 10 or 15 deaths. Like 7 deaths is a lot of deaths. But we will get back to those multiple deaths a bit later on in the video. The other thing that Todd revealed, which will be the real main focus of this video, is that along with those multiple deaths that will be going down this season, he also said that amongst those could be a major character death. So, you know, a regular character on the show. So let's jump into all of this and what exactly all of this means and the source of all of these deaths. And of course, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below who you think this major death could be, as well as why you think that, you know, they could be the one to meet their demise, as well as just leaving your general opinions down there in the comments as well. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support, and subscribe to the channel as well as we make our way to 200,000 subscribers. But first, let's jump into the multiple deaths that will go down this season first, as well it makes sense to, as it will lead into the major character death. The multiple has to be done before the major. I don't know if anyone said that before, but we're going with that one. But anyway, these multiple deaths will obviously have to do with the villain for the season, that being Cicada. And yes, I know, that's obvious because he is the villain. Don't crucify me in the comment section for stating the obvious. But the bigger reason that they will be, you know, connected to Cicada and why we should be paying attention to everything going down this season right from the beginning is because the deaths that will occur will all most likely, you know, be connected to the Flash. But what do you mean by that, Pagey? Well, let's get into that. So in the comics, Cicada has the ability of immortality, but to achieve this, he would kill people with a lightning bolt dagger, which of course we saw in the scene that was a part of the trailer for Season 5 from Comic-Con. Now, he wouldn't just kill your regular old average Chuck and Larry off the street. Cicada felt he had a connection to the Flash as they were both given their abilities from being struck by lightning. So Cicada would kill those that the Flash had come into contact with. So Cicada would kill people that the Flash had saved. So it is looking like that will be what we will be seeing going down with Cicada on the show in Season 5. So it does seem that they are going to be very accurate to the comics in regards to that. So basically from the get-go in Season 5, so as soon as Episode 1 starts, pay attention to scenes in which Barry saves someone. So if there's a pedestrian and Barry just randomly saves them from getting hit by a car, pay attention, because if they focus on someone in those scenes, we might be seeing that exact same person show up for a scene in which they are killed by a lightning bolt dagger. Now, when we go back to that scene that was at the end of the Comic-Con trailer, where we get our first proper tease at the villain of Cicada for Season 5, we see that when he places down that lightning bolt dagger, that it draws what looks like to be energy from the Speed Force almost. Like, it might not be that when we get into the show, but it looks like that. But he does draw it from the TV that has the news report of the Flash saving Central City from the satellite, which was of course from the Season 4 finale. And for those confused, this scene was supposed to be the end of Season 4, like this was meant to be like the last scene that we saw. Like, this scene probably won't be in Episode 1 of Season 5, like it might, but they might just leave it as like a tease from the trailer, so it's not like just wasted footage that they filmed towards the end of Season 4. But the fact that he drew the energy from the TV has confused people, including myself, as it isn't really that clear as to what they are going for here. Like, does Cicada power his dagger with just, well, recognition and faith for the Flash from the citizens of Central City? Or is it because he saved a large portion of Central City that the jubilation, if you want to call it, around the Flash axe, or the Flash's axe, might I say, are enough to power the dagger? As I said, it's a tad confusing. And they might not even come back to this point from this scene. It could be the reason that they actually decided not to include it in the finale from Season 4. Maybe they changed the way they wanted to present and interpret his powers. We will have to wait and see, I guess. As I said, it's a bit confusing. But this is where we move on to the major death that Todd Helbing was saying that we could be seeing this year, that would be a part of and connected to the multiple deaths that will most likely be caused by Cicada and connected to the Flash. So when we look at Team Flash and every single member on there, what is one similarity that they have, and that puts them all on the firing line for who could be the one to die? And no, it isn't that they are all the Flash. Obviously, Iris and Barry are the Flash. The similarity they all have is that at one point since season 1, they have all been saved by Barry or the Flash. Caitlin, Cisco, Iris, Ralph, Joe, they have all been saved by him at one point. So that puts them all on the chopping block. But out of these characters, who could be the one to meet their end? Well, I would like to think on just a consistency basis that Ralph and Iris are safe and not an option. So going into the season, we should not be scared of Ralph or Iris being killed by a Cicada, at least for his plan. And the reason for this is that in season 3, we had that whole Iris thing happen that was a drag and just wasn't good. And then in season 4, we had Ralph die and then come back. So if either of these two were to be the ones to meet their end, then it would just be repeating stuff over again and would just be like, well, what was the point of going through all of that stuff in previous seasons when they were just going to die at this point anyway? In regards to Cisco or Caitlin, I think this would just be a mistake to kill either of them off. They are the original Team Flash members. It's similar to Arrow, how they've said they don't want to kill off, or they never will kill off Felicity or Diggle. I think Caitlin and Cisco should serve or get the same sort of respect, if that's the best way to put it. Like, I just feel it would be a massive mistake to get rid of either one of them. However, there have been rumors that Carlos Valdez, who does play Cisco, might be wrapping up his time on the Flash this season and be moving on. I don't know. I will believe that when I see it officially announced. I don't think that will happen, but I don't know. I'm not Carlos Valdez. I don't know what's going through his head, so he might be leaving it at the end of this season. We'll have to wait and see in regards to that. But if he does leave, then maybe they might kill off Cisco. But yeah, as I said, that's like a watch this space sort of thing. But a character that I think the show struggles to involve consistently and in a way that makes sense, ever since their workplace sort of became neglected on the show, is Joe West. Don't get me wrong, Joe's the man and definitely has some killer comedy moments on the show. But we all know that the Cecile storyline last season, with not only the baby, but those powers that Cecile got, was sort of forced into last season to give Joe something to do and to focus on and just give him some screen time. I just can't see anyone other than Joe that could be the one to possibly die out of the ones I mentioned before of, Caitlin, Cisco, Iris, Ralph, and Joe. Unless they count a major death as someone outside of Team Flash and someone who isn't really a main character, but appears on the show at a regular enough interval to include them as a major character, or at least a major death at least. So, someone like Captain Singh or something like that. But as Todd said, there could be a major death. So someone would be like, oh, well, they haven't confirmed it. It's not going to happen. But the fact that they even brought it up does sort of confirm that the members of Team Flash will at least be in danger of the threat known as Cicada. And look, they might still be like weighing up if they're actually going to kill someone towards the end, and that could be the reason why he's saying there could be a major death. Maybe they're trying to figure out, either if Carlos Valdez is maybe going to move on, or maybe just, other things that, other like logistical things that go into, killing someone off on a show. That can be maybe what they're weighing up. But we'll have to wait and see. But, the fact that they've all been, saved by Barry at some point means that all those Team Flash members should be at risk if the show is going for the whole thing of like Cicada targets people that the Flash has saved, which, going by what Todd said before about there being multiple deaths, seems like they're going for. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on this video. And of course, mainly, if you had to choose one of those people to die that's seen as a major death on the show. If I've missed out on anyone that could be considered a major death, also let me know in the comments. But yeah, just leave who you think will die down there. And of course, if you are new, it would be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.